Nobody cares to work harder. It's our family quote, is the best way to put it. It's something we live by from our day to day. It's the reason why I get up for kind of no reason sometimes and still go through the daily stuff that I go through and work out every day and do everything possible to stay in certain shape and also maintain this business.
I loved that saying because I don't believe people should bellyache and cry about things that can't help produce. If you want to produce, you have to work hard, and nobody cares about your trials. Everybody cares about what you could produce. So Zach grew up with my motto, like I installed it in him since he was little. It's believe in it, envision it, manifest it, and pray on it. And I used to put plaques all over his room. I used to tell him right before he went on the ice, I said, remember those 3 things. And he's lived his life that way.
When I was young and I would have friends over, Zach would always be the best lookout. So instead of telling mom that there was friends over, he would play lookout and immediately come get me when mom was getting close to coming home so I wouldn't get in trouble. And he was always that type of brother, just caring and compassionate.
While growing up, he would notice that we all help each other. And I remember coming up here one day and on at Whitby, and it was raining. And he was the first one to run and got something for me to cover up to go outside.
No matter who you are or what position you're in, he's always willing to give out a helping hand. You could, as people say, you could probably stab him in the back 1,000 times and he'll still end up helping you out, even if, no matter what you've done.
I moved to Canada when I was about 2 years old. That's 53 years ago.
I came out when I was 11. 77, winter. Different winter than now, but yeah. No, it was cold, I remember. We came from Jamaica and the plane landed. I was young, my brother and I, there's another brother of mine. And we landed, someone picked us up. We were ready to leave the airport without coats. And he said, no, you need these big coats they threw on us. And it didn't mean that much. If you dressed for it, then it was good.
We thought snow was ice cream, thought it was delicious. We all started eating it when we saw it for the first time in our lives. We didn't understand it when we were 2 and my brothers were 4 and 5. We heard about this thing called snow, but living in Jamaica, snow was something that we only dreamt about. We thought it was just ice cream that came from the sky. So when we came up, we threw ourselves in the snow, we got ice cold, and we just enjoyed the winter. And we grew to love winter.
Playing Oshawa is hockey, so seeing everybody playing hockey at recess and playing hockey after school, something that I always wanted to try. And then I ended up actually being pretty good at it compared to all the other sports, and it was something I decided to stick with. Skating, even at the earliest days, my first time skating, it wasn't, most people really struggle with skating. First time they step on the ice, it's really a struggle. I never really had that issue. It was something that it was pretty quick for me to pick up in a sense.
We had to get him into figure skating, and he was the worst one on the house league. He could barely touch the puck, and he was determined. And when we realized how bad he was, because we were painfully sitting in the stadium watching him play, falling on the ice, and we're like, that's it. We found a facility that could help him skate, and he was the only male in the figure skating class, and he just gave it his all. He used to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, go over to the hockey rinks with his dad, eat breakfast, and then head over to school, and he wanted to do this. We didn't force him.
So after kind of many different opportunities come across, it was a great experience for not just my learning, but also my hockey career in a sense, as the program that I went to builds a decent amount of players up.
He was excited to go. He was 15 years old. His grandma and other people are saying, how could you let your 15-year-old go to the States and play hockey? I said, because this is his dream. It's not my dream. This is his dream.
That was very difficult on my end. It was something I thought I could do it really easily. You think you can kind of go ahead, move to a different country, 20, 30 hour drive away and think you'll be okay. I thought I was okay on the way. About 2-3 days in moving there, it was really, the loneliness really started to get to me as I didn't have any friends for a little bit. But I built probably one of the closest relationships with one of my roommates, also named Zach. That he was kind of my rock is the best way to put it. He was kind of the only reason why I was still there and still being able to battle stuff, because we were both going through similar situations. He's from the Quebec area and I was from here, so we both kind of came there alone. And me having Zach really was a lot of the reason why I ended up being able to go through what I went through there. The racism I faced was pretty crazy. Being in mostly a white environment overall, and then also playing hockey, which is one of the whitest environments in hockey where there's no color in general. Dealing with every single thing that I dealt through was definitely pretty hard. Dealing with people throwing bananas on the ice, and even going through high school hockey when they were telling me to go play basketball, and go through just saying the most racist things you guys could imagine. Saying things that you guys may not even have heard before.
He had one episode where he called me from the States. The team took a bus to another state to play a hockey game, and the whole team came off the bus, and he was the only colored person on the team. And as they were leaving, everybody buys their chips and candies and Slurpees. The person at the store said, "Where are you going with that stuff? I never saw you bought it." And the whole team looked around and was like, he just bought it. We all saw him. He gave you cash. No, he didn't buy it. If you don't show me the receipt, I'm going to call the police on you. And this is like, he's with the hockey team, and they pointed him out for no reason. So he's been through so much racism that made him stronger and better, and it made him want him to prove that nobody cares about anything but your hard work. When you work hard, you will succeed.
Playing on the Jamaican national team was the craziest moment I've ever experienced, in a sense. Kind of going through playing hockey in the best way is, especially with an all-black community, is pretty crazy. You never really notice that there's actually black hockey players throughout the whole world going through similar experiences, and kind of connecting with them and hearing same situations that they have dealt with was pretty crazy to me. Feeling that I'm not the only person in this was a really good experience too.
Over the COVID period, he came home, hockey was shut down. He came back home, and he started watching a lot of videos, a lot of YouTube. We called it the YouTube University for Zechariah. He just watched it, and he wanted to be successful. He wanted to make money. He wanted to figure out how to make money, because he was getting older. He was 17 years old. And then his dad said to him, you should design your own stick. That's something that you've always wanted to do. So with Zechariah, every time a stick broke at one of his hockey games, he would be the first to lend out his spare stick. And he knew that a lot of the kids could barely afford to be in the AAA hockey. He knew the struggles that a lot of the kids had.
In my early days, I always wanted to do something like this. It was more of a situation on how. The hardest logistic is sometimes just getting the name. That's the hardest thing. For a lot of businesses that are trying to build a brand around a name, it's getting a name is very hard. So that's something that we struggled with. I kind of hosted a contest in a sense. I got all my friends together and they kind of threw me a bunch of names. I checked liked a couple names. I checked some of them are even taken. I did a lot of research. One of my kind of close friends came up with the name, and he kind of won the contest, which ended up being $500 at that time. He ended up winning just for kind of listing the name. Something that also keeps this business as where it is because of my passion for hockey, I would say. It's why the business is as big as it is. So obviously, doing what I'm doing, in the early days, people are kind of gonna be like, what are you doing, in a sense? It looks embarrassing. We've been made fun of. People kind of question what I'm doing, what's kind of the situation. And that's what I go through. I've been an entrepreneur since day one. People have always some people supported my items. A lot of people have hated on what I do. I'm never supportive. Some of my closest friends. The stick business, it's the major difference between my business and kind of around hockey in a sense is because the sticks are changing. It's changing people's ways of hockey, changing the way people view hockey, and changing everything about hockey, in my opinion. It's making hockey more affordable. So doing that, I love helping people in general.
So seeing kids not be able to afford hockey sticks, it's upsetting, because I used to not be able to afford the top of the line hockey stick, and I'd be upset. So when now I could see other kids that are just like me be able to afford top quality sticks, it brings joy inside my soul.
I see Swift becoming one of the biggest companies in the world. We're definitely the fastest growing hockey stick company, something that I preach over and over again because we are. So I don't know where Swift's gonna take us. Hopefully we take down the big guys in a sense and we become up there with the biggest stick companies. There's a lot of hurdles we have to pass until then, but within the next 5 to 10 years, I think we will definitely have a chokehold on the market for sure.